Hello guys, my name is Louzada. I'm professor and researcher at Federal Institute of Espirito Santo in Brazil. Today we are discussing a little bit about fermentation processing in coffee. Fermentation is a bigger phenomenon in Brazil, in the world. There are a lot of people trying to understand this concept, try to understand this phenomenon in coffee and the impact and quality. So we need to understand the different aspects to understand the fermentation process in coffee. The first aspect is the microbiome, microorganisms working inside and outside the coffee cherries. There are a lot of bacteria, yeast, and enzymatic activities inside the coffee cherries, in the soil, in the roots, and the coffee fruits, and all microorganisms can work, can contribute and promote some changes in the coffee sensorial profile in these coffees. The other part is the chemical compounds. The chemical compounds can be affected by microorganisms and change the different chemicals, different molecules, and different compounds in coffee. And the other part is the thermodynamic process. And all fermentation processing, we need to understand the thermodynamic condition and the microorganisms and the chemical interactions. And these aspects can be promote different changes in the coffee profile and the sensorial profile. And because these, we need to decide to understand different process. For example, when we are making the strategy or thinking about the strategy to promote the fermentation process and the coffee farmers and the labs, for example, we need to decide which one or which way we are using to use and to apply these concepts in coffee farmers. It's very important to understand that the fermentation is an oxidation of some molecules present in coffee cherries, such as carbohydrates. And these molecules will be changed by microorganisms inside the fermentation processing. They are need to understand some aspects about the sensorial profile because these microorganisms will change the coffee chemical, the compounds, and promote new sensorial routes. Normally, people use spontaneous fermentation, just pulping, putting coffee inside the tanks with water, and stay for example, 36, 42 hours to remove all mucilage of coffee. It's a natural fermentation. The microorganisms present in the coffee beans will consume the sugar and promote the new ways to create new concepts about chemical and sensorial profile. When we pick up the coffee and change the strategy to promote the anaerobic condition, immediately the microorganisms will start the fermentation. In CO2 condition, the microorganisms will just ferment and promote the chemical changes inside the coffees, change the chemical and the microbiome and the sensorial profile. It's very important for farmers, for coffee lovers, baristas, and coffee experts to understand that it's very important to study, to observe, to try, to make some tests, to understand which one is the better for producing specialty coffees, for example. And this way, we need to understand that coffee is a food and we need to make a safety process to promote the safe coffee bean for roasters, for customers, and we need to protect the terroir in some case because people are making a lot of experiments, a lot of tests in the coffee farmers, and we are concerned about these tests because we are changing the common coffee profile. In Brazil, we recommend use yeast in low areas and just make spontaneous fermentation in high areas because we have a lot of studies to demonstrate the microbiome working and promote the competition inside the fermentation tank. And this competition, these microorganisms, can change all sensorial profile. And because this, we need to understand the environment, the sustainability, and the different process in the same farm. It's normal to find some guys in Brazil making wash, semi-dry, natural, carbonic maceration, and induce the fermentation in the same farm in the same time to promote different sensorial profiles. But we need to understand more about this phenomenon in coffee in general, because we need to decide the time to finish the fermentation, the chemical conditions inside the tank, the pH, the acidity, and the microbiome quality inside the coffees. Because after the fermentation processing, we will change all chemical and sensorial compounds. And the roast guys need to understand this phenomenon inside the coffee beans, because this phenomenon in the past will change the present, will change the coffee sensorial in the future. And if we decide to make aggressive fermentation coffee, we change, for example, the physical condition of the coffee beans. And this physical condition in coffee beans will affect the roast profile and promote some conditions that's not too good for coffee quality. I'd like to recommend a specific paper about carbonic maceration and coffee process. This scientific study was published this year in the Food Chemistry Journal, and we demonstrated different ways in the fermentation process: the microbiome, the chemical, and the sensorial profile. Because the time and the temperature can promote different changes in coffee cherries, and these changes promote new profiles, promote the new chemicals, compounds, and promote the selection of microbiome inside the coffee cherries. So the fermentation processing is an amazing strategy to create the new sensorial profiles, to promote the quality, to optimize the quality. I'd like to invite you to study, to read, to watch, and to try different coffees from different fermentation process. My name is Lucas Louzada. I'd like to say thank you for your time. See you soon. Bye bye.